Welcome, welcome, welcome. Coming to you live from Otter Creek, back at the ranch.
Otter Creek.
I thought that's what I said. Otter Creek.
Otter Creek. Florida's in the house.
Happy Sunday, Monday, everyone. Welcome back to our weekly Sunday Live.
What a disaster we walked into today. Oh,
Talk about a hot mess.
Oh, so bad.
Hot Florida mess.
So bad.
So bad that Jeremy had to write a song about it to sing to you.
Why you always put me on the spot with songs?
Go ahead, Jeremy.
How about you? You sing a song for once.
Tell him, Jeremy. Tell him.
All right, let me see what I got here. I'm getting choked up already.
You want some tissues? I can grab some tissues.
Maybe a kiss. Maybe a kiss would help.
You want some tissues?
Okay. Maybe I'll cry about that then too.
Bugs Adventures, thank you. Jimmy Beckett, thank you.
Maybe I could dry my eyes on your hair. Oh, that's better.
I don't know if you want to do that.
No.
Ooh, this thing is like.
That's gonna be bad. I'd be careful. This little ranch of mine came here to unwind. Oh, George. This little ranch of mine, we came here to unwind. This little ranch of mine came here to unwind.
Rosie says it'll be okay, Jeremy. That's from Rosie.
To unwind, to unwind, to unwind. I gotta let it out, George. I just gotta let it out.
Let it out, Jeremy.
This little ranch of mine, when I left it was fine. Yeah, yeah, this little ranch of mine, when I left it was fine. This little ranch of mine, when I left it was fine. It was fine, it was fine, it was fine. Ooh, ooh. You know it was too, right?
It was on. It was still on. I don't know if it was ever fine. It was still on.
It's in Otter Creek. What do you expect? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
This little ranch of mine, where everyone's the same bloodline. Yeah, yeah. You get that one? This little ranch of mine, where everyone's the same bloodline. Yeah. This little ranch of mine, everyone's the same bloodline, same bloodline, same bloodline, same bloodline. This little ranch of mine, they went and took my sign. Yeah, I ain't joking. No joke. This little ranch of mine, they went and took my sign. Yeah, this little ranch of mine, they went and took my sign. Took my sign, took my sign, took my sign. Yeah.
Her legs and my bye-bye.
It's not the only thing that used to be here with legs, you know. There were other things that used to be here that were legs.
There were.
This little ranch of mine used to be filled with swine. Now this little ranch of mine, you know swine used to be filled with swine. Yeah, this little ranch of mine used to be filled with swine, filled with swine, filled with swine, filled with swine. We got here, what, 4 hours ago?
4 hours.
Oh, man. Never prepared for everything we've seen and walked into. Never.
I had no idea what we were doing.
It's bad. It's bad. This little ranch of mine is really in decline. Yeah, this little ranch of mine is really in decline. This little ranch of mine really in decline, in decline, in decline, in decline. You know what it's going to take, George, right?
I feel like it's going to take a whole Hale's army.
This little ranch of mine needs hustle and grind. Yeah, this little ranch of mine needs hustle and grind. grind. This little ranch of mine is hustle and grind. It needs grind, it needs grind, it needs grind. This little ranch of mine gonna take some time. This little ranch of mine gonna take some time.
Thank you, Bernard.
This little ranch of mine gonna take some time. Take some time, take some time, take some time. Sing this one with me. Are you ready?
You know I can't sing.
This little ranch of ours used to be filled with cars. Yeah, this little ranch of ours used to be filled with cars.
The one parked illegally?
This little ranch of ours used to be filled with cars, filled with cars, filled with cars, filled with cars. This little ranch of ours,
Thank you, Ann, for letting us know.
it's probably cleaner on Mars.
It probably is.
This little ranch of ours, it's probably cleaner on Mars.
Stardust everywhere.
This little ranch of ours, probably cleaner on Mars, cleaner on Mars, cleaner on Mars, George on Mars.
Thank you, Jeremy. Well sang. Well sang. Thank you, Jimmy Beckett. Thank you, Ted. Thank you all for the super chats.
Needless to say, we are back at the ranch.
Here we are, back at the ranch.
And never expecting what we actually walked into.
Mm-mm.
Not even in the slightest ever expecting what we actually walked into.
Not at all.
We actually got here about 4 to 5 hours ago, would be my guess.
Thank you, Melvia.
And thought we would just set up shop and be raring and ready to go. And that is furthest from the truth. As a matter of fact, we will not even be staying here, will we, George?
It's so bad.
It is beyond bad right now.
If you guys were here, you wouldn't stay here either.
It's beyond bad, and we'll get into that in a little bit later about how bad it is and what's going on. But we did make it here, so that's a big bonus.
It took us about what? 3 days?
Let's see. So we had to go and do have a little fun. We didn't have to, but we decided to.
Thank you, John, for the super chat.
So we went from Wooster to Columbus. What did we do first in Columbus? That was Friday. We left for Florida on Friday. What did we do first?
So we made a pit stop, visited with my brother George, visited him and the kiddos and the family.
Which stay tuned in the future because her brother is now my brother. So my brother George will probably be down here with me at the ranch. There's so much going on. I'm absolutely going to need his help to take care of business down here. This is insane. This is insane. So this is going to be, I'm going to have to be calling the brother and be like, yo, brother-in-law, let's roll. And then, you know, I would think he would answer the call, don't you think? Okay.
Why wouldn't he?
I would hope. So,
visited him for a little bit, got to hang out with him and the family, and then Jeremy surprised me with a Christmas concert. So for those of you know who the band is for King and Country, we went to their Christmas concert, which was amazing. It's probably when Jeremy and I first met. Thank you, Tara, for the $20. Thank you, Els, for the $20. Happy holidays to everyone. Merry Christmas. I surprised Jeremy with tickets to the Trans-Siberian Orchestra up north in Cleveland. If you've never seen them, they're phenomenal.
And you got tickets when we did that. We were like right on the edge of the stage.
Yeah.
Do you remember the one electric guitar player coming right in front of us, like? You remember that?
We were very close to the stage, but we were to the side. We were like on the side of the stage, but like very close. And then Jeremy always has to one up me, of course, and so he got front row seats. Three rows back,
front row.
Literally front and center. And there were 4 open seats in front of us. So no one was standing in front of us or sitting in front of us. And so we were really, really close. I'm pretty sure they looked at us a couple times. We made eye contact.
Oh, we made eye contact. One of them looked like your brother. Kept making eye contact. I'm like, is that you? Is that you? I was like, it has to be Tony.
Thank you, Marilyn.
It looked like Tony. It so looked like Tony.
There was a guy in the band that looked just like my brother Tony, who took our engagement pictures.
Yep.
Identical, literally
identical.
If there's a
oh my
doppelganger
goodness.
out there, long lost brother, that was him.
Identical, and we were dying. We're like yelling, Tony, play it, Tony, get it, Tony. We're pretty sure it wasn't Tony.
No, definitely wasn't.
Yep.
Marilyn Rabies, Extra Gravy says, sorry for all the damage. I went down there for half a meal time. The girl, no one was there, so I had my own fun.
You destroy everything, Marilyn.
You're like the fun police, Marilyn.
Wow. But wait, I don't think she was actually here. You know why?
Why?
Because both trailers are still here.
Both trailers are
I think she's lying. I don't, both trailers are still here.
You're fibbing, Marilyn.
Both trailers are still here.
Thank you.
We are extremely fortunate to still have a camper.
So the camper's still here, but the camper wasn't
miraculously the camper is still here.
And you're going to hear why we're saying miraculously.
Miraculously,
Thank you,
the camper
Robert
is still here. Absolutely
Thank you,
crazy.
Francisco's mom.
Anybody who sent packages, don't worry. George and I are only here for a limited amount of time. As a matter of fact, it's going to be even more limited now because we can't stay here. So we were only going to be here for a limited amount of time. We'll kind of get into that as far as what's happening. We have to get back home for medical procedures. I have a major surgery coming up January 4th, and that's a huge surgery for our future. And then you just got off of a couple different medical procedures, and then we've got more as well. And
we have more coming up for myself. Well, just when I thought all of the doctor's appointments were over, I had my regular checkup for like a follow-up for my breast cancer. Come to find out, I had an MRI completed and they found another tumor. Thankfully it's benign, but they want to go ahead and perform surgery.
And we just got that information
Friday.
Friday.
We
got it because we got the phone call while we were with George.
I put the doctor on speakerphone.
Yeah.
And George was filled in on it too.
We were prepared for the worst.
Yeah. Thank you, Patricia.
Spent many nights just praying instead of sleeping, and prepared for the worst, and literally got miraculous news. And it was going to be the worst. It was going to be the absolute worst, and we got miraculous miracle. And so that is a huge deal. But surgery for me, and then surgery for you, and we've got lots coming up. So let's go back a little bit. So we were at your brother's. I got us off track. I apologize.
That's okay.
So we were at your brother's. We were hanging out with the kids, with your brother, and the whole deal. Went to the
concert, and then from the concert, we wanted to get out of traffic, Columbus traffic. Prayers for your daughter, Kathy. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kathy.
So then we drove probably an hour south. We ended up in Hocking Hills, I think.
Yeah, we were in Hocking Hills.
So if you're from like Ohio or the surrounding states and you're familiar with Hocking Hills, beautiful, beautiful.
But we were in Hocking Hills at like 11:30 at night.
At night.
Yeah, we weren't seeing any of the beauty.
So we grabbed a hotel room
and crashed
there. You slept on the couch.
As always.
I got to starfish on the king size bed.
I mean, it's usually she puts me in the couch or she puts me in the tub. I usually get my choice.
I'm glad your surgery went well.
This one, the tub wasn't really comfortable, so I went ahead with the couch.
So then we got on the road, and then knowing that the sun sets at like 4:30, 5 o'clock, we wanted to drive until.
But back up. So we pay $175 for this room, which I'm like, okay, come on, it's Ohio. I'm like, $175. And I asked the girl, I was like, are you busy? She's like, no, it's as dead can be. I'm like, oh my goodness. So the next morning we go down for breakfast because George has to have a hotel where there's breakfast, because the hangry thing is not a joke. It's reality. So we joke about everything. I'm not the only one that gets hangry. We joke about everything with each other. We joke about everything with each other, but remember, comedy is exaggeration of reality. And so that's where the comedy comes from. You make fun, you poke fun, you exaggerate it. And that's, so the whole hangry thing, we joke about it a lot, but it's a reality. She won't stay at a hotel that doesn't have breakfast, or maybe she will, but she wanted one. So we go to breakfast.
I prefer to have coffee in the morning and then like something to eat in the morning.
So we go to breakfast.
go to breakfast, and then towards the end, he starts bringing a ton of food to the table. I'm like, what are you doing?
Danishes and muffins and fruit and more danishes and more muffins, yogurts.
Yeah.
And I've got plates.
Like every name brand yogurt that they carried, he brought.
I got it all on a plate. Another layer utensils. I had plastic spoons and plastic forks, and another layer of plates with muffins, and another layer of plates with danishes, and another layer of plates with.
And I'm like, babe, what are you doing? They're gonna see you taking all this food.
She's like, this is so embarrassing. Stop it. I was like, and what did I say?
You're like, if I'm going to pay $175 for a hotel room, I'm going to take as much breakfast as I want.
It's breakfast. Not to mention,
I
ain't going to live with her being hungry.
And he's like, our children better be thankful for all this food we're bringing up.
So she's worried. She's worried.
He exaggerates and says, our seven children better appreciate what we're doing.
But you're worried. She's like, they're gonna see us. You have all this food. I'm like, it's for you. And I'm like, I don't care. I paid $175 for this room. I said, we're taking this. And so when we walk by the staff, I go, our 7 children better appreciate that we're bringing this all up to the room. And so she starts dying in the elevator, which I think you have eaten literally all of it except one muffin. No, the yogurts.
No,
the yogurts
I didn't eat any of the danishes. You did. I ate a muffin.
There must still be a Danish then.
Yeah.
There's one chocolate Otis Spunkmeyer muffin left. There's 4 yogurts left.
I ate all the fruit.
And one cheese
I did eat all the fruit. And I ate the muffins. Yes. Do you know the Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man?
Yeah, the Muffin Man.
Does he live on Emery Lane?
His name is Otis.
Oh, Spunkmeyer?
Yeah.
I do know the Muffin Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the Muffin Man. So from there, we jump back out on the road, right? After our breakfast shenanigans, and me taking towers and towers of food for George, which she has almost eaten all of it.
We didn't plan our next destination. We were just like, we're going to take our time. We're going to drive.
We actually did plan it a couple times because Robbie texts. He's like, are you here yet? I'm like, no, we won't be there till Sunday. And then we got talking. We were like, well, let's go surprise Flippin' Adventures instead. Let's go see Flippin' Adventures. Then we'll go to the ranch.
Yeah.
And so we were like, well, we'll go to Flippin' Adventures first, and then we'll go to the ranch. Then we'll get a trailer. Then go home. And because once we get the trailer, it's
going to be nearly impossible to park anywhere.
That's if Marilyn Raby, who sucks dry gravy, left the trailers, which thankfully that's like the only thing that's here is the trailers. But we didn't tell Flippin' Adventures that we were going to come and surprise her. But ultimately, we altered our plan multiple times, which is so difficult because people want to know, where are you going to be? What are you going to do? And they don't understand that our planning shifts and changes constantly. So thankfully, we didn't tell really anybody. Robbie said, when are you going to be here? And even then we were shifting it and planning it. So I didn't tell him anything else after we told him that. Z-Dog
finally got a YouTube. He didn't want one for the longest
time. It's
time.
About time. For all the Z-Dog super fans.
New year, new you.
Z-Dog.
And the Sean Goodman's in the house as well.
Well, they're all over at the ranch there just a couple hours ago.
Hanging out with Robbie.
Yep. Yeah. So we ended up doing what? What did we do?
We ended up getting we drove until it got dark again.
Which neither of us like driving in the dark.
And it rained. Oh my gosh, when I tell you it rained, it poured.
For 2 days.
It was so scary.
It's been raining for 2 days.
So scary.
And we did stop. We stopped for dinner, didn't we?
Thank you, Christine. We did. We did stop for dinner. We went to Cracker Barrel.
That's right. We went to Cracker Barrel. So we went to Cracker Barrel for dinner. George is like, hey, can we just stop? Can we go get something to eat, sit down, stretch our legs, use the bathroom, and get out of the truck, which we do have.
And grab some stuff too.
We went to Walmart. We do have Ramsey's 2.0, which that is one sweet ride.
And surprisingly, I didn't get motion sickness.
But I had the lift put on Ramsey's. So we have learned that if the truck isn't lifted,
when
George gets motion sickness. When we first got Ramsey's 2.0, we drove around and she got sick.
Oh God, it was double sickness because of the smell. That new car scent makes me nauseous. Plus, it was just standard height.
So then we went and had a company, actually Radical Design in Wooster, did a lift for us, did tinting for us.
Thank you, Adam.
Did the fender flares. I told them, I said, I want this to match the original Ramsey's, just all different color, make it match. and they did it, and
they did a great job.
Incredible job, and not a single issue coming down
Every
here.
time I get into Ramsey's 2.0, I look at him, I'm like, nice ride.
And I was like,
nice truck.
I was like, yeah, must be nice. Must be nice. So
for whatever reason, with it being lifted, I don't get motion sickness. I don't know if it has to do with like gravity or what, like the being higher off the ground. Zero motion sickness.
I wish I could understand the mind of a George, but I've yet to be able to understand.
Maybe someone in the
one.
Chat can explain it.
The mind of a George?
No, why I didn't get motion sickness after 2.0 was lifted.
I don't know. I really don't know.
I don't get it either.
But that is.
But I'm not complaining.
That was the truck to drive down to Florida in for sure, because it's just.
So that was Ramsey's 2.0's first road trip.
Yeah.
First road trip.
Mm-hmm. So what did we do? So we went to Cracker Barrel, and then after that
we crashed at another hotel in South Carolina.
Well, I told her, I was like, why don't we just crash? She's like, no, let's go as far as we can tonight. And I'm like, that's easy for you. You're not driving in the rain and the dark.
It stopped raining.
So then we decided to keep driving, and then we stopped like 11:30 last night or something like that.
Yeah,
something like that.
11, close to 11.
And we were right on the Georgia borderline. We were like 10 miles from the border of Georgia in South Carolina. And then we had breakfast again this morning.
This time he didn't take 7 stacks of food. He just took one.
I took muffins. Actually, it was cinnamon coffee cake. I took coffee cakes that weren't in wrappers. So I folded them and wrapped them all in individually in. Actually, it's right over here.
I think he grabbed 4. There was 2 coffee cake, and then the other 2 were.
So there's her Otis Spunkmeyer from the first one. So what I did is I took the coffee cakes because she gets hangry, and I individually wrapped them in napkins, and then I put them in these plates, and then I clipped
banana
them.
Nut.
Banana
the
nut.
Other flavor, banana nut.
And then I clipped them so that when she gets hangry, she actually won't get hangry. So she hasn't eaten these yet. This is from this morning. This is from the other morning. This is still left out of those stacks and stacks of food. This is the only thing left.
If you're like me, you like to eat something sweet with your coffee in the morning. So I do like to eat something sweet with my coffee. This one right here doesn't drink coffee. He's just naturally energetic.
It's the real deal. No caffeine.
He's just high on life.
It's my superpower. You have your superpower. I have mine.
Yeah.
So we got back out on the road, and we were 4 hours away from the ranch at that point. And traffic was atrocious.
We were probably stuck in traffic for about 5 miles.
Yeah, it got bad.
And then the GPS took us a different route.
Yeah.
Allegedly a faster route. It was a pretty drive.
Well, it's filled with rain again. But there were some spots. It was kind of nice when it actually stopped.
It did stop raining once we crossed the Georgia-Florida borderline. Sun was out. The moonroof was open.
We did. That's right. We opened the moonroof.
And Jeremy's like, why didn't I do this sooner? Oh yeah, because it was raining.
It's been raining for 2 days. I literally said to her, I was like, why didn't we do this sooner? Why didn't we open up? And I'm wearing jeans, and you're wearing jeans, and we're in like almost 80-degree weather.
Thank you, Bernard.
We're like, we didn't even bring shorts. Like
I packed shorts.
I didn't pack anything because I left everything here, went home to Ohio. I was like, oh, I'll be back. Biggest mistake ever coming home to this disaster.
Oh, it was bad.
So
it's pretty bad.
We are on the road. We open the moonroof, and then George is like, she's putting her hands out. She's like, ah!
Yeah, I like doing this in the wind, going up and down like this.
But she was doing it literally up through the sun moonroof. So we opened that up. We were like, oh man, this is so good. So good. We're home in Florida. So excited.
77 degrees.
77 degrees was the highest on the temperature gauge in Ramsey's 2.0.
So then we stopped at the post office.
We did stop at the post office.
Filled with a lot of junk mail.
Tons and tons of junk mail.
Like advertising, like the advertisement magazines.
Now, keep this in mind. as soon as we tell that you say we stopped at the post office, they're going to be like, what's your PO box? What's your address in Otter Creek? Do not ever send anything, even if you think you're so super sleuth and you figured it out and you know what it is. Don't send it. We're not going to get it.
Yeah.
So we give you the address because that's the way it works. We have systems in place. It's PO Box 106, Wooster, Ohio. The system gets it to us. You sending anything because you're a super sleuth and you figured it all out and you're like, oh man, this is where they're at. It is not going to help you.
Chances of it getting returned back is much higher versus sending it to our Ohio address.
So do not try and find anything in regards to us in Otter
Humphrey
Creek.
says she's 74 and she still does the hand thing in the wind.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people do.
At 74, I hope I can do the hand thing, and I hope I have the flappy skin, and the skin is
bingo arms.
Yeah,
those are called bingo wings.
That's what it is, bingo wings. Yeah, I hope I can do that flaps. Too, and the wind can just be like hound dog jowls, just like but with my arms. It'd be great. So we stopped there, and then we started going down our road, which is Otter Creek. We live on Otter Creek. So we live in Otter Creek, but we also live on the road, Otter Creek.
Own it.
And we get to the ranch. Man. So I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready.
There's still damage from the hurricane.
Damage from the hurricane. There's damage from a lot of things.
There's a lot of damage.
There's a lot of things.
The hurricanes when it was hurricane season.
There's a lot of things. A lot of things. Definitely a lot of things.
And I think a lot of the things that happen here correlate with the hurricane.
And other things. There's Mick Draper. Thank you so much. So first thing, how far do we get into this?
I don't know. I think you should. Do you want to start off? We did get on the gator just to go around.
Okay, so the one positive thing. Okay, so the one positive thing, the gator is still here. The gator's still on the property.
Fred the moose is okay.
I wouldn't say okay. That was the first thing you pointed out. You're like, oh no!
Fred the moose is still there. He's still in one piece.
That's better. That's better. Fred the moose is in one piece.
Yes.
Is still here.
Yes.
So the one positive thing is we did get on the gator. We said, let's go for a little drive. Let's just check
out the property.
And the gator is still here on the property. So that's a good thing. The gator is here.
Thank you, John.
Gator still works. Even though it got broken during Camp Hale's. It did get damaged and broken during Camp Hale's, and all of those who wanted to know who broke it, that was revealed in some AA videos. So that was crazy. That was crazy.
And the one that did break the gator
did confess
and did pay for the damages.
For everything. Paid for all the damages. Yep.
Yeah.
That was one of the prerequisites for the guys coming out to Camp Hale's anyway. So there were guidelines and rules while they were here. And one of the guidelines was if you break it, you bought it, you pay for it. So you are welcome to use anything. You're welcome to enjoy the ranch and what's on the ranch. But if you break it, you pay for it. And that wasn't an issue whatsoever.
A lot of people thought it was me that broke the gator.
That, or they also said your brother, George.
They thought George was, yeah.
Or you and your son, or you and your son and your brother, or...
Because I did bring my son down
during
that time. And it was also his birthday. Thank you, Mick Draper.
Yep, that was going on then too. So
it was definitely a male. It wasn't me and it wasn't my son.
Yeah, it was a male, and the name wasn't George or my son. So, but we did go for a little ride. We didn't go too far because we haven't mowed anything. Everything is grown up, and if you guys recall, the brush hog, we hit a stump and the brush hog the blade sheared completely off, and we've yet to buy a new brush hog yet. So no mowing. Not that we would have had any time. We had much bigger issues to deal with once we got here. But it was so frustrating. We just said, all right, let's just jump on the gator just to get away from all of this right now. And let's see what's going on, around the rest of the property. We did go and look at the creek.
Yeah.
We went back to the creek, which is Otter Creek. And remember, Otter Creek, we live in the town of Otter Creek. We live on the road Otter Creek, and Otter Creek runs through the property.
Yeah.
So we went back to the creek, and we heard a little animal, didn't we? Do you remember?
Mm-hmm. Jeremy was trying to communicate with it.
I mean, I communicate with you. You're an animal. Okay, sometimes I communicate with you. It doesn't always get through. The messages kind of get screwed up a
Was
little
it the
bit.
barred owl?
It was a barred owl.
Yeah.
Yep. So we heard a barred owl out there, and we were so frustrated. And I was like, George, do you think I could actually call it in? We don't need to go back to the house or the camper right now. Everything's so bad. I was like, do you think I can call it in? And she's like, yeah, try. So we just sat there at the creek for a little bit, tried to call the barred owl in. It moved, but it never came up to us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it never actually got to us.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good sign. We did jump up a couple deer.
Yeah.
Which the deer, there have been upwards to, I don't know, 10, 20, sometimes even more deer all over the property, all over the cameras. By the way,
you see them in the camera. So not only did we jump up the deer, but we also jumped up all the cameras because then all the notifications started coming in.
Boom, 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 boom. Remember, nothing happens on the property that we don't see. There are cameras everywhere. Everything is documented, and we've had the cutest fox on the property, jumping back and forth, and the deer have just been all huddled here because we haven't been here, and hunting season opens and is a long season here in Florida. Mm-hmm. So the deer are all here on the 70 acres.
They hide out here because they know that they're safe.
And usually they hide out right in front of the house, and they party out in front of the house because I put the solar street lights out there. And so they're out there grazing, and they just basically they have a good time. Really good time.
We've seen all kinds of wildlife in the camera.
Our situation right now isn't going to be that much of a good time, though, is it? Mm-mm. So, I mean, it's probably best if we just actually video everything for them this week.
We should do like a ranch update for you guys, like where we drive around the ranch and
show everything that we're dealing with right now, and why we can't stay here, and it's just. Yeah, so as soon we're here to live stream. The only reason why we stayed here once we got here is we're here to live stream because we still have internet here. Mm-hmm. So even while we haven't been here, life has gone on here at the ranch, even though we haven't been here, just like life is going to continue to go on in Ohio, even though we're not there right now. So work is going to happen there with employees. When we're not here, things are going to happen here, and life goes on either which direction. Wherever we are, life is going to go on. So internet is still here. Security cameras are everywhere here. Everything that's going on here is documented. And so we are here because of that internet, or we would have immediately just turned around. I even asked George, I was like, do you want to just turn around? You want to go get a room right now? And what do you want to do? And
oh yeah, you wanted to go down to Crystal River where we got.
Well, I said we could go to Crystal River. I was like, we just go to Crystal River tonight and go get a room down there, or.
And then I said, no, we'll just stay local. That way tomorrow morning we can come and start working.
Work like crazy.
Start working.
Yeah. Just a nightmare.
Yeah.
Just a nightmare. So we'll just give a couple of the frustrations. Number one, we are extremely lucky to even have a camper still.
Oh yeah.
And even then, it is
not only the
habitable.
Camper, but the existing house.
Everything.
Or would you call this the studio warehouse?
Well, it's the house, and the camper's right next to it. We are extremely, extremely, extremely lucky that everything is still here. Yeah. Everything. So there absolutely was a fire, and we are very, 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 very lucky. So we also do not have a water tank right now.
This would have been the second fire on the camper.
Would have been the second fire. And we'll show you video of what we think happened. And that being said, we do not have running water into the camper right now. And part of that is because of the fire, we were also locked out of the camper. It took us an hour to actually break into the camper.
Yeah.
That was a nightmare.
And once we broke into the camper, it was even a bigger nightmare. And that's where like, let's just go. And then we finally we went back up. Okay, let's do the live stream. And then I went, well, we'll stay in the house. And then we went in the house and we were like, oh no. And we went, I told her, I was like, we'll just go. We don't have to do live stream. We'll just go. And stuck it out.
Leonard. Thank you, Mike. Yeah, I stuck around because I wanted to see how much work was going to be involved.
How much of a disaster it is.
Yeah.
It's a disaster.
Like everything that's been damaged, everything that's going to have to be thrown away, everything that we can try and recoup.
Thankfully, none of it done by animals. That's a big blessing. But
there were some creatures in here.
Oh, the graham crackers that were over there. Thank you,
Randall.
There were graham crackers up on the counter, and there was a mouse that ate the graham crackers. So.
And a cinnamon roll.
Got the cinnamon roll too? Didn't touch the marshmallows.
And the marshmallows.
No, it didn't touch. I just threw that all away. It only got the graham crackers.
And the cinnamon roll.
Okay.
The Cinnabon.
Apparently it went for the Cinnabon as well. But that's the only animal damage that we saw was graham crackers and a bun. So far.
Yeah.
Everything else is other damage, and it's a nightmare. It really is. So we were not planning on being down here very long anyway, because our lives are so heavily scheduled. Not our live like right now, but our lives are actual things we live on a daily basis.
Oh, appreciate it, Aaron. He said his sister Aaron. Has an Airbnb in Crystal.
Oh, nice.
Needed.
So we were basically going to come down. We had a few things that we wanted to do. We wanted to go see Flippin' Adventures. There was one thing that George asked me. She said, "What do you want for Christmas?" Do you remember when you asked me? You remember what I told you?
Yeah.
What I tell you?
This man right here, extremely difficult to shop for. Extremely difficult to shop for. I mean, what do you get a guy that already has like cases and cases of ketchup? What do you get a guy that
more ketchup? I mean, that's pretty easy. I mean, how can you ever have enough ketchup?
That's a picky eater is just picky about everything.
How's that picky? Give me a chicken or a beef and I'll put ketchup on it. That's so easy. So easy.
He's just very, very particular, I should say.
That's why I'm with you.
Picky, but baby. Very particular. Stuart is offering to come help. He's only 2 hours away.
I don't. We will if we are open to letting people help, we will let everybody know. At this point, I don't even know if we're going to let anybody on the property.
Yeah. So he rattled off a couple things that he wanted for Christmas.
I told you I wanted to be loved.
He wanted to be loved. He wanted to be.
I said.
And then he wanted to do lunch.
She said, "What do you want for Christmas?"
He wanted to watch dolphins while eating lunch.
She said, "What do you want for Christmas?" I said, "I just want you to love me." She's like, "Well, I can't buy that for you." I was like, "Well, apparently I can buy it."
I told him, I was like, "Well, I'd like to at least get something for you, at least one thing for you to at least unwrap and open." And he wouldn't give it. He wouldn't cave in and tell me what he wanted.
I did. I told you what I wanted. I told you I wanted to do what?
He wanted to have lunch and watch dolphins in Cedar Key.
Cedar Key.
I'm like, okay, I could do that. I could do that.
Somebody's asking, is the finger still standing?
Oh, I didn't see it.
I did.
When we pulled in?
The finger is going to be in a video. We will video that.
I guess I was paying more attention to the neighbor.
You were paying attention to the neighbor because the neighbor was staring at us from the other side of the fence as we pulled in. And I was giving him the stink eye stare on the way pulling in, but my stink eye stare went right by the finger. So I think it was one of the neighbor's sons. That would be Brian and Tina, who were part of the family that sold the property. So obviously still the same neighbors. But the finger, we'll make sure we video that.
Okay, we'll include that.
But I told you I wanted to be loved, and I wanted to go. When we viewed the properties, we went and had lunch in Cedar Key. We went to Steamers, and they've got a three floor up balcony where you eat over the Gulf, and you're looking over the Gulf and you're watching the Cedar Key dolphins.
We got to spot dolphins the very first time
so
we ate there, and we just fell in love with it.
That's when we went, this is where we're gonna buy property. It was that sealed.
It reminded him a lot of Kelly's Island.
Yeah.
And so Jeremy pretty much spent a great chunk of his life on Kelly's Island.
Huge.
And so I think that was a huge selling point when we were looking for property in Florida. Leanne says Steamers is my favorite. That's good.
Yeah,
really good.
It's really good.
Everything I've ever ordered is really good.
And I don't even want the food. I don't want to go for the food.
It's more of
I just want to go watch the dolphins with George. I was like, can we go watch the dolphins? And then what we'll typically do is after we eat, it was like, well, let's go for a little walk. We'll go walk on the pier where everybody's fishing and there's benches. And eventually George will get winded and sit down, and I just lay in her lap and fall asleep on the pier, listening to the
it's
pelicans.
Fun to watch what people catch. Like we've seen people catch eel, we've seen people catch stingray, we've seen people catch the pelicans by accident. We've seen people catch is it bonnet sharks?
Bonnet, yep.
Yeah, bonnet. They look like little mini hammerhead sharks. We've seen that. It's interesting, the pier.
I just go to lay on George's lap and just fall asleep and take a nap. So you're out on the pier and you're hearing the golf, and you're hearing people enjoy the golf and the pelicans and people fishing, and
pelican fly.
So she'll be playing on her phone, and I will just be closing my eyes on her lap. That's all I want to do. That's what I want for Christmas.
Thank you, Michelle. You want to get into what she's asking
about the animals? You know what? I think that's too emotional right now. We need to do that. Or do you want to
wait and include that in the upcoming video?
That should be in the upcoming video.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We should do that in the.
Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you, Amanda. Yeah, we'll tackle all that in the upcoming video. So what we're walking into here was completely and totally opposite of what we thought we were walking into, and to the point where we can't even stay here. So, which we had thought we were going to be here 3, maybe 4 days, probably no more than 3 days, and we'd be right here on the property. And I could not wait to get on the property, open the camper up, kick back. I was going to start a fire for George tonight, and we were going to enjoy that. And, romantic evening, maybe even live stream at the campfire. And
thank you, Els. Appreciate it. You don't have to send anything.
We just got here and it's like, oh, man. Again, everybody who has sent mail, we do have a good stack of mail back home in Wooster in Ohio. We will get to that mail when we get back. So keep in mind, we're not here very long. We're here to get away for a little bit. We have some business we need to attend to, things to take care of. We have to get back because George and I have a date on New Year's Eve. So we have tickets for another date, which is going to be really, really fun, a really cool experience. And then I have surgery January 4th, which is not going to be fun at all.
No, I think the whole procedure in itself is like 6 hours.
Somewhere in there.
6-hour procedure.
Are you going to take me? You know I can't drive.
Aw, congrats, Shelly. Yeah, I'll be your driver.
Are you going to take care of me for the 6 weeks recovery afterwards?
I'll be
so there. Don't know what's going to happen with videos after that. We'll have to see, because there is a 6-week recovery, and then you've got your appointments as well. And so we're coming down, doing a little bit of business. We were talking about loading a trailer, taking a trailer back up north as well, now that we have the new warehouse, which you will get to see in entirety this upcoming week. I think Thursday you'll get to see the entire new warehouse because we got the keys. We were talking about actually loading a trailer, getting that all ready to go back up. So we
got the keys to the new warehouse literally right before we got on
before we left.
Right before we left. And that was the whole plan, was to try and close all of that before we got on the road to Florida.
Amy wants to know, are we done with our Christmas shopping? I've been done.
Yeah, I would say yes. since he didn't want anything.
Piece of cake, right?
He was the last one because he didn't want anything. I'm like, come on, you got to tell me. What do you want?
She's like, what do you want? I was like, I just want you to love me.
Stocking stuffers is a piece of cake.
She's like, well, stocking stuffers, something to unwrap. I was like, take me to Cedar Key. Let's go watch dolphins. Let's go watch dolphins.
Yeah.
That was what I told her I wanted.
We'll do that tomorrow afternoon.
So we're definitely gonna have to go get supplies. I mean, we can't stay here tonight. We have to go into town, get a room. We'll have to get supplies in the morning, and then come back over here, and then we'll probably go out there for lunch because that was my Christmas present from her, to take me to lunch tomorrow to watch dolphins.
Yeah, that'll be fun. And hopefully the weather holds up. I didn't even look to see what the weather was going to be.
Oh, I don't know. Especially as we've been driving through 2 days of rain too.
Please hold while I check. All right, here we go. Oh, I got to enter the location in because I got a new phone. Here we go.
They declined our offer on that piece of land. Heads up.
So no counter offer?
I'll text her.
Tomorrow's going to be a high of 68. Mostly cloudy with scattered showers.
Maybe tomorrow's not the best day to go out there.
No, we'll see.
We'll see.
It changes all the time.
Cheeky, thank you so much. Australian, just like For King and Country.
Oh, yeah.
If
they talked about being from down under. Down under.
If you have not listened to King and Country's version of Little Drummer Boy, you have never ever experienced Little Drummer Boy the way it was supposed to be played. I mean, it is just so incredible. Now, I did post a video of it on the What the Hale's Facebook page.
Aw. Prayers for Karen. Thank you.
Thank you.
She's going in for thyroid surgery.
Oh, man. So posted a video of Drummer Boy on the Facebook page, but I think that's the only place I posted it. I think I tried on TikTok, but it was too big for TikTok, and that's the only place I posted it. It kind of gives you a little bit of insight, but if you're not there and they're playing literally right in front of you and you feel every drum beat like boom, boom, boom. I mean, you felt it, right, George? Like every drum beat, George's hair was like woo, woo, woo. It was incredible.
It was pretty awesome.
It was incredible.
It was.
That was something else.
Would you say it was just as good as the Trans-Siberian Orchestra?
Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
It was more of a storyline about like the night before Christmas.
With For King and Country?
No, the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, they had like a different style of Christmas music.
Yeah.
And it narrated it into like a story. And then they also played Christmas music throughout.
But For King and Country is all about the Drummer Boy Christmas. That's their storyline as well. But they put some of their classic hits in there too.
They did. They mixed it up.
Because I'm such a big Trans-Siberian Orchestra was awesome. And we had incredible seats.
Like, what is that called when they use fire?
Fire. What is it called when they use fire?
No, there's a name. There's a name when they use fire in the light show. They had like a light show and
pyrotechnics.
Pyrotechnics, yeah.
Yeah, so Trans-Siberian Orchestra had pyrotechnics, but
and we're so close that we could feel it.
We feel the heat. and For King and Country, we're so close we could feel the drum beats. I'm such a huge fan of For King and Country. And obviously what they stand for, okay? So they're a Christian contemporary band, and they love God, they love the Bible, love Jesus Christ, and obviously their Christmas concert is the emphasis on the birth of Jesus Christ at Christmas and what it's all about. And so I just I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It was incredible. Philippine Adventure said my favorite is Burn the Ships.
Someone
asked God only knows. They did both of those.
The ships, we did a Q&A with them an hour prior to the show.
So we did a VIP Q&A with them. Yeah.
And someone in the audience asked, in the video, Burn the Ships, did the ship really burn? Was it really on fire?
And we learned that the ship in the video
Was
is the
used
exact same ship that was
Pirates of the
used
Caribbean.
Pirates of the
Yeah.
Caribbean. Johnny Depp was on.
Mhm.
Yep. So we learned that too in the private Q&A.
Someone asked, are we going to be selling the property in Florida?
No, we will not be selling at this point in time. We have not discussed. We've never discussed the option of selling. You and I have never discussed it.
And then they're also asking, why did we get property in Florida?
Why would you not get property in Florida? If you're asking why we got property in Florida, you need to go back a year in videos because we answered it a million times already.
It certainly wasn't to live here permanently. That was never our intentions to live in Florida permanently.
So do you want to answer the question?
It was to expand and have a home base in Florida, and then it was to also continue to have our home base in Ohio and then flip back and forth. It's just like how people have property anywhere else in a different state, another place to get away.
Different state, different country, it's just another home, and you go back and forth.
Yeah.
So it was expansion of the business, and in all reality, it's an investment. So property is, if you've not been watching What the Hales very long, I've said it again and again and again and again. Real estate is the best investment you can make. There is no other investment that you can make that the government will give you the actual tax benefits that you get. Nothing. Stock market, not going to make it. You name it. It doesn't matter. The real estate is the one thing God stopped making, and is the one thing that you can get tax benefits on that no other investment, no other thing you spend your money on that the government will give you. The government wants to encourage you to buy more land, buy more property. That's why the incentives are there.
Yep. Maryland says like snowbirds and investment.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. And once we got here, when we left Ohio, it was 30 degrees or somewhere around there. You were freezing in Wooster. You're like, it's so cold in here. I'm like, babe, it's 80 degrees in the bedroom right now. I got 2 heaters going and the furnace. I'm like, it's not cold. It's cold outside. So mentally, George is like,
I wasn't always this cold. Ever since I got diagnosed with thyroid cancer and had a total thyroidectomy, I've always been cold. I'm always cold. Always.
So we got here and she's with the sunroof. She's like, woo, woo, yeah. As a matter of fact, she's been in a tank top since we got here on the property, but she got chilly as the sun went down and she just put her hoodie on. I put my hoodie on
maybe 10 minutes before we went live.
And to really answer the question, somebody had mentioned that the country song Buy Dirt, reminded them so much of us, and they're like, this is your philosophy, this is the way you think, it's you guys, and that's the reality.
Buy dirt. Songs,
invest in property, buy dirt. What could be better than owning your own property, your own land, your own dirt?
It's
finding the person you love.
I know Luke Bryan is in it. It's featuring Luke Bryan, Buy Dirt. And then there's another song. There's another song that's ours that came out this year. It's the one with
Blake Shelton, Gwen Stefani.
Blake Shelton, Gwen Stefani. That's totally our song.
So finding the person you love, buying dirt with them, and growing and developing your family and your land. What could be better than that? And so that's the reason. And you just heard me tell George that our offer was declined on another piece of property. We put in an offer for another 17 acres up in Ohio. So it was declined, and we've got plans for that as well. Always invest. Always invest in property.
Did you ask your realtor if they were going to counter offer?
I didn't ask yet. I'll do it. Okay. I'll take care of business after we're off here. Okay. I was just showing you because I just opened it. I shouldn't have even opened it. I shouldn't have opened it, but I did. I was like, this thing keeps going off. But I have it on silent. So always buy property. People who say, I want to be rich by the age of 30, or I want to be a multimillionaire by this age, or I want to. There are a lot of ways to do those things, but the easiest and typically the most lucrative way is real estate. And
it is. Real estate is what got me out of college debt.
Real estate.
Yeah, real estate.
Real estate. Susan said, keep us realtors in business. Dan wants to know about the missing sign. As soon as we find it, we'll let you know, Dan.
Thank you, Bernard.
You'll see more. You'll see more in a video. We're definitely going to video tomorrow, I think.
Yes, definitely. That way you guys we'll answer a lot of your questions during the video. Because a lot of you are asking, well, what about this? Well, what about that? Well, what about this?
And we don't even have all the answers yet because
Right.
we literally just got here into this huge disaster. We took an hour just to try and get into the camper because we're locked out.
Without damaging it.
Which I had to damage it.
Just a little.
A little bit.
Just a little.
But going inside, it's way, way more damage than what I did to get into it. It's just, it
was shocking. That's
to say the least. To say the least.
Yeah.
Yeah, to say the least. So
thank you, Jaden. Thank you, Gail.
But
love you too and hope you have a better new year.
We'll survive. And we'll spend the new year actually in Ohio. And we've got that date night.
Thank you, Gail.
If you guys haven't heard of the Van Gogh interactive 3D, right? Interactive 3D Van Gogh interactive 3D
art exhibit.
Art exhibit.
Yes.
That's what we're going to for New Year's Eve. And
we found
it's gonna be awesome.
Black Friday BOGO, buy one get one, for the Van Gogh exhibit at the Cleveland Art Museum. So that's going to be really, really good. And when him and I first met, I took him to an exhibit at the art museum, which he had never been to the Cleveland Art Museum before. And we both loved it.
That video is on the channel.
It is.
You have to go back 3 years when we first started dating, but it's on the channel.
It was one of the dates that he recorded.
Yeah, it's on the channel, believe it or not.
And before we went to the art museum, I took you to like a garden atrium type thing.
Did I record that too?
No, yeah, you did. And we took a lot of pictures.
Yeah, we have a bunch of pictures because that's when you did this.
Something was in my eye.
Something was in both of them, apparently.
Something was in my eyeball.
Your fingers.
It was pollen. Like my eyes were getting itchy and I was doing like this. And then he caught me at this.
Oh, that's what happened?
Yeah, because you're not supposed to touch your eyes directly.
Better take care of that super chat.
Thank you, Rita.
That's what happened, huh? Marilyn, I needed a new sign to promote my drive-through trailer business. We're gonna figure out who Marilyn Raby, who sucks dry gravy, is.
Marilyn's claiming to be a male.
We're going to figure it out. We are going to spend an entire live stream within the next few weeks, and we are going to with you, all you sleuths out there and all your clues, we're going to figure out exactly who Marilyn Raby, who sucks dry gravy, is. There are clues that have already been sent in. We're going to spend an entire live stream just narrowing it down.
Cecilia says, I know who she is.
Cecilia.
Thank you, Bernard.
So what do you think tonight after the live stream? We're going to go in town. We got to get a room. Do I sleep in the shower again, or
do you want to sleep in the bathtub curled up like in fetal position?
I'm going to have to.
All of the mess that we walked into.
I'm going to have to because these ones in town aren't as nice as where we've been staying. They don't have couches. Now I have to sleep in the shower. Hopefully there is a shower because we don't have one here. No, we have two here. We have one in the camper. We have one in here, neither of which work. No, we can't stay here. It's just exact opposite of what we actually anticipated.
See, Ray wants to know, is your gator vest okay? No,
that one. It's not.
No, it's not.
It's not.
It's bad.
It's bad.
It's pretty bad.
And Steph says, tractor okay? No, it's not. It's bad.
We'll show all of that in the video.
Yeah, we'll be videoing that. So
someone says, why not sleep in Ramses 2.0?
Because we have everything that we have is packed in the back of it. We actually could. The back actually folds down in the beds. I couldn't
take a nap this afternoon because there was too much stuff in the back seat that I couldn't recline.
We brought so many of your gifts here to the ranch to implement them and use them at the ranch, whether it be license plates or whether it be Ghostbusters or whether it be, you name it, whatever it was, it's all here. It's in the truck, the whole deal. And we're so packed to bring stuff here that it's just not feasible right now. We couldn't do it. Yeah. We couldn't do it.
Can't sleep in the camper. Can't sleep in the house that's here.
You know what we can do? We could go over to your brother's auction tonight. Since it's been a rough day for us, we could go to your brother's auction tonight over at Taking a Risk. And he's going to have a super cool auction because he just got a ton of super cool stuff, right?
He did.
So if you haven't been checking out Taking a Risk yet with George, that would be my brother-in-law and your actual brother-in-blood,
My
right?
brother, yeah. Are you claiming brother-in-law or future brother-in-law?
You told me as soon as we get home I have to wear my wedding ring, since you have to wear your engagement ring.
That's right.
So she says I have to wear my wedding band. If she has to wear an engagement ring, I have to wear my wedding band. Yeah. So I might as well just claim it.
I'm marking my territory.
At least you didn't pee on me. If you love what the Hales, type what the Hales.
And Otter Creek Ranch. We will record everything that we're talking about. That's just been a hot mess. Get up close and personal.
If you love what the Hales, type what the Hales.
YouTube would not sleep in the camper or in the existing house here.
If you love what the Hales. What rhymes with Hales?
Snails.
And George says snails.
Thank you, Nikki.
If you love what the Hales, type what the Hales.
Thank you everyone for tuning in with us live from Otter Creek, where things just keep getting otter.
Otter and otter.
Definitely keep
and
getting
otter. Let's get down into town and let's jump on your brother's live stream over at Taking a Risk.
We'll see you guys there. We'll see you next Sunday on the live. Say goodnight, Jeremy.
Good night, Jeremy.